The most atypical part of Sandy's life is really its last chapter. It was generally projected to head up the East Coast. And then it was kind of confusing if the storm would make a right turn and head out to sea, as most storms do, go straight north into New England, or make this atypical left turn into the mid Atlantic or portions of the Northeast. And Sandy did the last one, as you all know. It took this left turn, and that's what really caused Sandy to be so devastating.
So where did it make landfall, and what were the impacts like there?
So officially, it made landfall in southern New Jersey. That's where the center came ashore. And the impacts were generally close to where it made landfall, and then to the right or to the north in this particular circumstance. The most classic impacts from Sandy was the coastal flooding. If you looked at the wind impacts, they were there, but surge was the reason this storm was so devastating.
So what did we learn from Sandy? What did you guys learn from Sandy? I'm guessing over the past 10 years, the way that information is put out there has changed a little bit, given the fact that it wasn't a hurricane at landfall. How do you warn people? Are there things in place that allow you to still put out warnings and watches and all the same sort of communication that you do with a hurricane?
There was a sort of a flaw in the system at the time. So post Sandy, we're able to issue hurricane warnings, even if we don't think it'll be a hurricane or tropical when it makes landfall. And we've done this several times now, not necessarily for New York, but for other areas, including recently with Fiona that affected Canada. It was a very similar scenario. And we do now issue storm surge warnings, which are connected to the most life-threatening hazard, which we could not or did not have in place at the time. And all of this was, at least it began because of Sandy. It was so high profile, so impactful, that this changed the way we do business today, and certainly for the better.
Is it still changing? Is this a work in progress?
Science is always a work in progress, always. And certainly we're better today than we were 10 years ago at doing our predictions, and better today at communicating, and better today at like listing key points to try to feed the media and try to talk to emergency managers about things that are sort of most pertinent to the public. But are we perfect? No. Will we be better in another 10 years? Absolutely.